Check in now with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. He's joining us over the phone. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Good morning to you. So far, Tropical Storm Barry is now upgraded to Hurricane Barry. What's your take this morning with the weather as it continues to progress?
Well, we've got in Plaquemines Parish, I'm down here by the Myrtle Grove area. We've got overtopping in several places on the levee, and we're evacuating cattle now as these fields fill up with water, hopefully to get all these cattle out before the fields are completely covered. The levee's being overtopped from Jefferson Lake Canal to Myrtle Grove and approximately 20 locations that we can see. The levees have not failed yet, but it's coming over the levees in pretty good volume, and if that continues within several hours, it will probably be on the road on Highway 23.
And
go ahead, Carly.
I was just curious, you mentioned y'all are moving out some cattle. Does this have any effect on residents there in that area? Should they be heeding any new precautions, any new warnings this morning with that new development?
Well, the parish called for a mandatory evacuation. I just rode through Ironton a little more than an hour ago. The sheriff had deputies going door to door. That is a community just north of Myrtle Grove. It is on the other side of the highway, so it would be the last community to flood. But they went door to door to make sure everyone was out. There are a lot of people that decided not to leave that are down in Venice, Boothville, Port Sulphur area. And one of the things that they need to know is normally when the middle of the parish would flood in past events, they would convoy them out on the Mississippi River levee. But I don't believe the Corps of Engineers is going to allow that to happen, and it's going to be very unsafe with the water up against the levee. Usually you've got a dry river batcha, so it's not as dangerous to convoy people out. So people need to know that that is if they're down in South Plaquemines and it does flood the highway in the middle, I don't know that for sure, but I just think it would be very dangerous to run people on that levee, and talking about the Mississippi River levee, to get anyone out from South Plaquemines.
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser joining us via the phone this morning. Lieutenant Governor, we were just looking at some of the pictures that you sent us out this morning to all the news stations about that levee in Plaquemines Parish and some of the water overtopping there. As far as the rainfall in addition and what we can expect, what's the latest that you've been told or that you've seen reports on? How much rainfall in terms of inches are we still expected to see down south, down in the Plaquemines Parish area?
Yeah, since I've been out there 5:30 this morning, the rain has been very minimal. It comes in waves, but not enough to have any accumulation anywhere down here. It'll rain hard for a couple minutes, then it won't rain at all, then there'll be a light sprinkle, but you got a lot of breaks in between, so rain has not been a factor where I'm at. But as I said, you know, people keep calling and asking, how long do we have before the water covers the levee? Well, if it continues to overtop, you've got hours. If the levee needs to fail, obviously it would be cut that time down greatly. So if anyone's in Plaquemines Parish and wanting to get out from South Plaquemines, they ought to do it now.
I do have a question for you. Yesterday during the governor's news conference, Sean Wilson with DOTD had mentioned several bridges around the coastal part of Louisiana were closing, and they were advising people to go on and get out ahead of those closures. Are there any bridges that you're aware of in that area that would prohibit people from being able to get out if they're deciding to make that decision now?
There's a gate across Highway 23 that is not closed as of yet that I know of. And there is a small road over the top of that on the levee, or on the flood protected side of the levee for emergencies if that gate was to close. I don't know if they have plans to close that gate. I don't believe that there's any threat of this water traveling that far north, so I don't think they will close it, but the Corps makes those calls.
Lieutenant Governor, we all have family and relatives and friends all over this state. So for all of our viewers here in the greater Baton Rouge area, if they want to contact your office or check in on friends and family members down in Plaquemines Parish, what do you recommend? What's the best way to stay updated in addition to watching all of the local news outlets on air and online?
Well, actually the parish government is probably the best way. A lot of people down here are posting on Facebook what's going on. I know we were able to locate some of the people earlier this morning that have cattle down here, and they're all out there now working together, field by field, getting the cattle out. So I'm sure the parish upstate will be, in every parish, will be updating as things take place in those parishes.
And Lieutenant Governor, your plan moving forward the rest of today. I know Governor John Bel Edwards will provide an update in just over an hour from GOSEP here in Baton Rouge. Is it your plan to stay down south in Plaquemines Parish and see if those levees hold strong?
Yes, I've been in touch with the governor this morning. The governor sent National Guard down and working with parish officials that actually put sandbags on the levee that actually has bought a lot of time that's allowing them to get some of these cattle out. So I've been in contact with the governor this morning, updating him on what's going on. They're actually on a conference call right now, and I'm sure the parish president will be up and updating the governor as well.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, thank you so much for joining us. And again, stay safe out there in Plaquemines Parish.